Morning, Trainiacs. She is gonna be a sizable workout today. One of the coolest things about the Ventum here is that this 1.4 liter water bottle actually makes the bike more aerodynamic. So what we've got going here today is a 2.5 to 3 hour ride followed by a 20-minute run. And there's a very specific way that we're gonna do this. You know, new toys are fun and all, but it really adds a lot of complexity to every single ride. All of a sudden I gotta be a mechanic before I even clip in. But once I do, I'm gonna be fast, I'm gonna look good. Because I gotta try it eventually, right? Why not today? Trainiacs, that was a good session to end this 2 weeks of work on. 87K, we're talking just about 56 miles in 250, keeping my heart rate under 135. I wanted to stay nice and aerobic there, and what I was doing was 10 minutes with really low cadence, around 60, 3 minutes high cadence, over 100, and then 5 minutes rest. Just kept repeating that as long as I was out of the city. And then just went for a 20-minute run, and the focus was, let's not worry about pace. I wanted to worry about running with good form after the bike, and just smooth form-based running. I was at 432 per kilometer, like that's race pace, and it felt really good. 7-minute miles, 4.4 kilometers, 2.7 miles in 20 minutes? Something like that. All right, so hungry that I could eat the drywall off the studs. I'm gonna just stop one step short of that, and then we're gonna talk about best upgrades to make to your bike. That took more out of me than expected. I needed a giant bowl of oatmeal and a nap. Hence, you get me in my PJs. All right, so let's talk about upgrades that you can make to your bike, starting from the least expensive up to the most expensive. We're gonna be going bang for your buck here at the start, and then at the end, a little bit more luxury. And just so you know, this is extremely unscientific, top of my head numbers. Feel free to correct me in the comments. First thing that's probably one of the best and most underutilized upgrades is your tires. One, rolling resistance on the ground can mean as much as 14 watts. Now it's not like 14 watts on somebody who's trying to ride 200 watts on average is gonna get 7% faster, but 14 watts of resistance savings is huge. In addition to that, weight saved in your tires is 4 times more effective. It's rolling weight. Because the wheel is rolling around, if you save, let's just say for easy math, a pound on the rim, it's like 4 pounds lighter in action. What I would recommend is go to your local bike shop and say that you're looking for a tire that isn't quite like the maximum race specific tire, but like 1 or maybe 2 steps down. Something like the Continental 4000 S2s. These are the Specialized Turbo Pros, something like that, that's still gonna be good enough to ride outside and not be so susceptible to punctures and flats, but it's nice and snappy. Only cost you maybe 100 to 150 bucks. Next thing, Integrated hydration, either on the back of your seat or in between the handlebars going horizontally. These areas for water bottles is essentially invisible to the wind. So it's going to make your bike a heck of a lot more aerodynamic, keeping your bottles back there or in the front than it is on the down tube, creating turbulence. That might cost you, depending on the system that you go with, again, $100 to $200. I also wouldn't get that really big water bottle that drops down in between the aero bars at the front, because that actually acts as a wind sail, and all of a sudden your wheels are going to be like this, and that actually creates turbulence throughout the entire bike that is going to slow you down. Not ideal. Next thing, you want to make sure that your saddle, I like the Cobb saddles, and your front cockpit is adjusted in such a way that you can sit in the aero bars for a long period of time. This probably comes in line with getting a bike fit. Bike fit might cost you anywhere between about $200 and $400. Saddle might be about $200 to $300. Cockpit can go all the way up to $1,000. But the main thing to know is that whatever you're going with, and it can be just stock off your bike, you want to make sure that you are able to comfortably sit in the saddle in the aero position for a long time. When you get up out of the aero position, you turn into a wind sail, and 85% of the drag of your entire setup here is from your body, not the bike. Let's say bike fit is the biggest thing there. Next thing, this is a little bit pricier, but it's probably the very first big upgrade that you want to make, and that is a helmet. A really good aero helmet like this can probably add about 1 to 1.5 kilometers per hour. We're talking almost a mile per hour just by putting on this helmet. Now granted, helmets start getting really expensive, so you've got a couple of options. You can get an aero road helmet that you can use both during your road riding and your tri riding. Or you can take an average road helmet that has this feature and add to it an aero shell. Aero shell only costs about 30 or 40 bucks, and it has almost the same aerodynamic advantage as this. So you're only having to buy one helmet. Total cost, anywhere from $150 all the way up to $400, depending on how fancy you want to get. Wheels, hell yes. Lots of benefit to wheels. You get that same 1 to 1.5 kilometers per hour benefit with a disc wheel, probably a little bit more, plus you sound really cool going whoosh, whoosh, whoosh down the road. However, when you start getting into wheels, these are $3,000-$4,000 wheel sets, so the dollar per speed advantage starts going down. If you're looking for a really good bang for your buck, there are wheel sets out there that are used that you can get anywhere between about $500 and $700, $800, or you can get one of the cheaper wheel sets for about $1,000. I like me the Altos though. They're nice and stiff. Really good power transfer. Thanks, Alto. Some sort of a power meter. This is an excellent bang for your buck, especially right now. I use the P1 power pedals, and they are currently selling for, I believe, $700. They were originally $1,500, so you got to go to the PowerTap website directly. They've got them there, and occasionally they've been putting up refurbished sets for, I think, $5.99. Very good thing. And if you start getting serious about triathlon and you want to start dialing in your training, power really helps. Does it give you an instant speed advantage? No. But does it give you a good training advantage? Hells yeah. As far as group sets go, this is the Shimano DuraAce Di2. This is the highest level of group sets that Shimano makes. Now this costs many, many thousands of dollars. And the reason for that is that it is absolutely precision, like ting, 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 ting. Like it instantly hits the gear shifting, and it's really light. Do I recommend it for beginners, people that are trying to save money and still get faster? No. The bike that I used before this had Shimano 105. 4 levels of shifting down. Was the performance the same as this? No, it wasn't nearly as crisp. Was the bike unrideable? No, not at all. This is just a really nice luxury. So when you start getting into like luxury bikes like I've got here, like this is so overkill and unnecessary, but that doesn't mean that I don't love it. We want the best of the best. That doesn't mean that it's what you have to have. So there you go, Trainiacs. I know that I've covered those tidbits scattered throughout many other videos. So if you are subscribed, thank you for sticking around until this point and like the video. If you aren't yet subscribed and you like all these tips, hit the subscribe button below. And if you like longer interview podcasts, check out the Triathlon Taren podcast. It is the most reviewed triathlon podcast in the world. Later, Trainiacs. I gotta wash me some integrated Ventum bottles now.